I give you your groom, Mr. Christopher Calvert.
Hello, I'm Chris. It's my wife, Nicola. It's my daughter, Robin. I've lost my son.
And in 2001, as part of her third year, where the course had a sort of work experience course, she went to Xerox in Uxbridge. And bingo, that's where she met Prince Charming, Chris. I knew something was afoot when I came home. I'd been refereeing a game of rugby and I came home early one day and I walked into the sitting room and there was Nicola and Leslie in deep conversation. And it was pretty plain to me that my presence wasn't welcome, so I went to the club. And shortly after that was the first time Leslie and I met Chris, and he turned up in this bright red Alfa Romeo Spider.
I remember very vividly meeting them for the first time at that house in Banstead. I was absolutely dreading it, and when I got there, Nick had popped next door to Sally and Clive, so she wasn't even there when I turned up at the house. And I remember walking into the kitchen, and open on the kitchen table was the day's newspaper with the middle page spread open, and it was an article criticising older men for seeing younger women. I call upon
these persons here present.
These persons here present.
To witness that I.
I'm sorry.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
Christopher Mark Calvert.
Christopher Mark Calvert.
Do take thee.
Do take thee.
To be my lawful wedded husband.
To be my lawful wedded husband.
You might say to me, well, what type of person is Nicola? Well, I can tell you that she's always been a very loving and caring person, a great daughter to Leslie and I, a loving sister to Andrew, and over the last few years, I think a great partner to Chris and a loving mother to Alex and Robbie. She's never changed. She was like that as a child, she still is.
Since the day we met, and throughout this time, I've always known I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Nicola. She's a beautiful wife, a wonderful mother, has the patience of a saint. She's a management consultant, a fearless police officer, with a large baton that scares me, but a cool radio. But she has a cool radio that the kids really need to play with. She's a fitness instructor, a breastfeeding advisor, chairwoman of the local nursery. She's rebuilt her home and planned and delivered a wonderful wedding. And she still finds time to make me feel very special.
Although Chris is generous to a fault, he also has a dark side. He loves to throw a strop. And no better time for this to occur when dealing with a service professional who's cocked up. 4 years ago, we were in France and Barclays randomly decided that he was a credit risk. So they decided to cancel all his cards. From the south of France, his personal banker got the full hairdryer treatment. I was afraid to talk to him for about an hour after that. But what amazes me is the louder he screams, the more wine they send him. So, as any parent knows, rewarding bad behaviour is not a good thing.
I'd like to say thank you to my wife, Nicola. It's going to take a while to get used to saying that. Not thank you, but the wife bit. We met whilst we were both working at Xerox, and although we vaguely knew each other, there was a great deal of luck in us getting together, as it happened on Nicola's last day. Nicola kindly invited me to her leaving do at the famously romantic bar, Tiger Tiger. We spent the night talking mostly to other people, and whilst I knew I liked Nick, I was pretty sure she didn't like me. Probably because of her large boyfriend. The night finished, And as everyone was leaving, Nick walked up to me and demanded to know why I didn't like her. Luckily, I was able to correct this, and the rest, as I say, is history. I have, of course, since realised that it was my skills on the dance floor. Imitating, as Nick would say, a drunken chicken.
Together, they have started a beautiful and strong family. They demonstrate something I think marriage is about, being better and stronger as a couple.
Now it's time for me to close, and I would just like to say to Chris that in the time that I've known him, it's obvious to me how you really like things that are the best. And I've got to say, I do think in my daughter Nicola, you've found the best and you've got the best.